because he didn't sit down and say, how should we eat? He got in his kayak and he went all over the world, not literally kayak, right? He went all over the world looking at people who didn't have any processed food, people who were just eating the food that they produced, whether they hunted, gathered, farmed, but it was their food. They weren't going out to a store. You remember when you were little and we read the rhyme, Old Mother Hubbard went to her cupboard to get her poor dog a bone, and when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. And Monica Jean said, well, why doesn't she go to the store? Right?
That's what we do.
That's what we did. There are no bare cupboards in our lives.
No.
And so he looked at their diets and what kinds of diets made a healthy individual. And he was right there for the change. He was there when processed foods came into many of these people's diets. And he was able to journalize, to actually take photographs of how the people's beings changed. And we're not talking about generations. We're talking about a mother pregnant with a child 2 years later. She has another child. Processed food has been introduced, and you can see physical changes in the second child because of processed food. That important. So,
That's sad.
Nutrition and Human Degeneration by Weston, like the direction, West on A. Price. How much is it? What's the price? Weston A. Price. And you can basically find out that a diet that confers health and longevity and keeps you in touch with where you're living is going to be a diet that will vary depending on where you live. It's not like this is the right way to eat and this is the wrong way to eat. It's like, where are you? What do you need to be adaptable to? Right? And are you in the city? Are you in the country? What kinds of things, right, are the things that bring you into harmony with where you are? Remember, Robin Rose Bennett, Robin Rose, was apprentice number 7, living in Manhattan, and went back to Manhattan and started harvesting all the plants in Manhattan and making her remedies. And dealt with just about all the problems that she had with plants that grew right there in Manhattan. Right? If you live in a city, why not use the plants in the city? What are you afraid of? You're breathing that air. You live there. Asking about the lead in the nettle, I worked with a group called Gardens for All. And our mandate was to make gardens everywhere. And we made gardens in crazy places like median strips on busy highways. Crazy places. Vacant lots. Even crazier because of what you were talking about, the contamination of the lead from buildings that had been painted and torn down. And what we found, because we were allowed to test both the soil and the plants and test frequently, was that as soon as the soil had lots of organic matter, there was no more lead in any of the plants we were growing. It stayed locked up in the soil. And that's why I say to people that you can't have soil that's mineral deficient. You can only have soil that's bacteria deficient. Because there's always going to be minerals in the soil. But if you don't have the bacteria in the soil that allow those minerals to be ionized and then be usable by the plants aren't going to have them. But it's not because the soil is depleted. So how is organic food grown? Most of your organic food is grown in the Great Central Valley in California. And the first thing that's done is black irrigation pipe is laid down. Why would we need black irrigation pipe? Because the second thing we're going to do is cover the earth in black plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning of the growing season, it is miles and miles and miles and miles as far as the eye can see of black plastic. Machines running over the black plastic, punching holes in the black plastic and planting